The PM is on holiday on the island of Madeira during Parliament's recess. Sir Keir Starmer has angered tourists on the holiday island of Madeira after appearing to push to the front of a queue for an attraction. The Prime Minister is currently on holiday on the island, and footage circulating online appears to show his car being driven to the front of a queue for a toboggan ride. In the video, Sir Keir and his family are ushered to the front of a queue in which some people had waited as long as 3 hours, before his son and daughter were shown to their seats on the ride. Several of the onlookers, many of whom were British, reportedly booed as they recognized the person being taken to the front of the line, with one being heard to shout, "Get to the back of the queue." The popular ride allows users to slide down a hill in the island's capital, Funchal, close to a busy dock popular with cruise ships. Onlooker Russell Schachter, 64, from Ilford, told The Sun, "We arrived around 10 a.m. and queued with everyone else for ages, even though we had pre-booked the rides. There were lots of Brits off the cruise ships and everyone was typically patient and well-mannered until we had finally got right to the front when the queue was halted. I happened to be videoing just after 1 p.m. at the moment when I recognized Keir Starmer arriving in a car with his security team in another vehicle. He stood there smiling as his 2 kids were taken straight to the front of the queue and were put straight on the ride. But people who had been lining up all morning were not quite so happy, and quite a few boos and calls of 'get to the back of the queue' went up. Once his kids went off, he was then driven straight to the bottom of the toboggan run to meet them. We went behind them and were held up again as his kids were collected and driven away. He's obviously in a privileged position and has security issues, but it was still a difficult pill to swallow to see him pushing to the front after we queued for 3 hours. Brits are famous for being good at queuing, and it was a difficult pill to swallow." Social media users were split on the matter, with many pointing out that it would be unrealistic and unsafe for all if the leader of the UK was stood in a busy queue for hours. Ex-user, the TV Grump, meanwhile, joked, "The sled is going down faster than Keir's approval rating."